All right, good evening. Welcome to another installation of JAE Fantastic Five interview series. This particular series is going to be based around military personnel, so I'm excited to have my old friend and battle buddy, Sergeant Major James Charles. Sergeant Major James Charles, for those who don't know you and know your history, can you briefly just walk us through your history?
All right, how everybody doing? My name is Sergeant Major James Childs Jr. I am a native Washingtonian from Washington, D.C. Graduated from the best damn high school in Washington, D.C., Paul Lawrence Dunbar Senior High School.
It is.
I've been serving in the D.C. Army National Guard for close to 25 years, be 25 years in January. And my current assignment, I am a G1 Sergeant Major for the D.C. National Guard, which means I am the senior enlisted advisor on all personnel, human resource matters for the organization.
Yes, you are. You're doing a fine job there, Sergeant Major. So what made you get into the, you're welcome. What made you get, decide to go into the military?
I ain't had nothing else to do. Hey, that's the bottom line. Yeah, that's the 100% honest question. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't have no other plans. I wanted to go to the Air Force, but National Guard recruiter came to my school first. And I decided to join the National Guard. I didn't want, I never had any, say it again.
So I know that's right.
Yeah, I never had any plans to go active duty or wanted to go anywhere. I just knew that I didn't want to be a DC statistic, young black kid going in the wrong way. I've never been a street guy, never in my life, but I had family members that were. I grew up in neighborhoods that was. I played ball with the street guys, always minding my business. But if I didn't join the National Guard, Lord knows which way I would have went.
It's funny. My story is just like that. I had no plans even, and boom, here I was in the Guard as well. So definitely, man.
Man, I had no plans. I mean, when I came back from basic and AIT, December 10th, 1997, my plane landed December 11th. I was back working at McDonald's on December 12th.
Wow.
So.
Isn't that something, man? But look at you now.
Hey, man, top dog, baby.
Look at me now, huh?
I made it, baby.
Hey, man. So what, 20-something plus years, right?
25. I'll be 25 in January.
I'm talking about, you have seen a lot of changes and trends, even included the new PT standard that's just came out. Can you kind of talk a little about, the changes you've seen and the trends over the years?
Yeah, so one of the things, like you just mentioned, I wasn't going to, the PT standards is one, but when it comes to the organization that I'm part of, DC National Guard, like I said, I can talk Army-wide, but I'll be, I don't want to misquote anything, so I'll talk about my organization.
Of course.
Is less family-oriented. So when I first joined the DC National Guard, it was more like family. I had mentors, I had sponsors, I had people that really grabbed hold of me as an E3, E4 that like really shaped my future. Sergeant McNair, Dexter were the main ones that he was feeding me. He was bringing me to his house. I was watching with his kids. I mean, he grabbed hold of me. But it's not like that anymore. It's more people is more about themselves than the organization and the soldiers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
We went away from, like, I don't want to say we totally went away from taking care of soldiers, but it's more about taking care of ourselves,
right?
And then taking care of soldiers. So that's one of the things I've seen is a big change. Another big change that I noticed: soldiers are coming in smarter now. Soldiers are coming in smarter. What I mean by that, we have privates and specialists that coming in with almost with degrees already. They already, some of them got the education.
Yeah.
But the downside to that is they seem to be more entitled. What's the new generation called? What they call millennials?
Yeah, yeah.
They more entitled. You can't. It's like when I joined in '97, it wasn't much of nobody putting hands on you or nothing like that. But it was. I was going through basic training, and you yelling, and drill sergeant yelled at you, and drill sergeant threatened to kick me one time. He wasn't going to do it, but he threatened to kick me. But nowadays, and even when I got to the DC Guard, it wasn't that strict, but I still had those leaders that really tightened you up.
Right.
And you can't. It's almost like you can't tighten these soldiers up no more, man. So it's a big change, man, and You know, and some for the good, and some, you know,
Right.
you wish every generation say, dang, I wish it was like this, like it used to
Right.
be.
Right.
So
I remember when they implemented the stress card at basic training. The soldiers feel like he stressed, he touched the card, and it's
yeah, man.
It's like
Hey,
you
man.
soldier.
And that's part of that entitlement. That's part of that. Like we're stressing. I mean, I understand I guess they're trying to get to more so of what is it, the mental health thing they try to
Right,
take care of.
right,
But sometimes it's like, now how are we coddling them now?
right,
Are we
right,
babying them now? Are we like
right,
really, what kind of soldiers are we trying to produce now?
right. The ones that say time out while the war is going on. Time out.
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah, yeah.
I'm stressed right now. Hold
Yeah,
up.
I'm stressed right now. I can't handle these bullets flying over my head. Let me send me back to the rear.
Right.
So
Crazy, man. Everybody, that's real life, and thanks for sharing those experiences. So then, in that case, then, what would you say makes for like the best soldier, then, or excellent leaders?
I think that's I ain't gonna say it's a loaded question, but I want to say like basically having drive, determination, and self-awareness. Self-awareness, where you want to go, where you want to be, how are you going to get there? That's one of the main things I tell these soldiers now. Know where you want to be before you get to that point of your career. So if I'm an E4, so this is how I did it. When I was E3, well, when I made E4, I was already looking forward to making E5. Even when I just made E4.
Yep.
And then when I made E5, okay, now what do I need to do to make E6?
That's right.
I was already thinking ahead of time once I hit that landmark to go forward. It's like these soldiers, and that was the drive that instilled in me through many different leaders that I served with, you know, just knowing where I want to be, how far I want to go, knowing my steps.
There you go.
Knowing steps.
Out the way, you got to go qualify, you got to get PT scores. Check. All right.
Yeah, you got to check the block. You got to check the block.
You're waiting for the promotion now. What's up?
That's all you got to do. And like I said, those type of things, like, you know, you can, that's part of taking care of yourself, because you want to take care of your soldiers, but you also got to learn how to take care of yourself at the same time.
Put your mask on first, then help.
Yeah, help out. That's what they say on the plane. Take care of yourself first, and then help somebody else.
That's right.
So, I mean, a good NCO, you know, a good NCO can do that. Can do both. Take care of their soldiers and themselves.
And that's good, because that brings me to the next question. And you talk a little about how things have changed, and you know, it's not longer a family necessarily. So my question is then, how do you best serve your soldiers then?
I always the way you see me on Facebook, Instagram, and that's how I am in real life. But I think the soldiers got more respect for me because I treat them how I want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. The soldiers that I lead, I had the opportunity to lead. I can say they had a respect level for me. I can get them to do anything I want, morally and ethically correct, because they knew I would take care of them. They knew I respected them. So I had the same amount of respect for my subordinates, my peers, and my superiors. So I treated everybody, you know, equally. I respected them equally. I didn't disrespect somebody just because they was E3 and I was E7 or now I'm E9. So I treat them how I want to be treated.
And that's excellent advice. How can you go wrong with that?
Hey, man.
Culture and every military, they tell you the same thing: treat people how you want to be treated. But
some people feel when they get up there in rank, they don't have to do that any longer. They feel that they're better than.
Right, looking at you through the glasses. What you say, private? Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Right, private.
Yeah, they feel that once they get a certain rank, once they make an achievement, that they can basically talk to the soldiers any kind of way. They can treat them any kind of way. It's not like that. You know, soldiers will respect you. You don't have to yell to get your point across. I mean, you can, so that it's like my kids, my daughters love me, but if they see that I'm disappointed in them, it tears them up inside. I don't have to beat my daughters. If I tell them, if they see that I don't appreciate something they did, it kill them inside, because then it drives them to do better, to get right. They get right, you know, back to me, you know, try to get back to me and say, yeah, I need to make this right with daddy. And it's almost like with the soldiers. If you show soldiers that, especially a soldier that you know is doing something good, is on the right path, but they do this one thing wrong, You don't have to scold them. Just let them know, boy, I'm a little disappointed. They're like, dang, I'm disappointed in Sergeant Major. I gotta fix it. And so
that's right. And when your kids call you and come back and say that to you, that's like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. I got this parenting thing down right. You got it. That's what's up, man. Thanks for that, C. So someone coming into the military for the first time, brand new, what advice would you give to that new soldier?
Stay humble. First of all, say stay humble. And I would go back to what I said for a previous question. Always know your next move. That's one thing I had to write that down because I wanted to say it again. Knowing your next move is always the best move because you don't want to be complacent of where you are. Because once you get comfortable and complacent, you stuck. Next thing you know, you see your peers are your superiors.
You got to stand up and ready rest.
Right. And every leader you come across, every person you come across, whoever they outranked you or somebody that's in the same MOS or career field as you got to take something from them. Every good leader that I had, I took a little piece of them. You see me professionally is something that I took from everybody that I worked for, even people that I didn't like. People that I didn't like, they might have treated me wrong or whatever. Their bad qualities, I look at their bad qualities and say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. So I remember how he did that. Someone do it the opposite way. Even though I didn't like him, he did this right. I like that.
That's right.
Don't pull that from him. So you can learn from bad leaders as well.
I learned something from the homeless people the other day, just paying attention. Say, I noticed that everywhere these homeless people are begging, there's a lot of traffic here. And I can put my sign right here. I'm gonna get a lot of eyes. Hey, so you can learn something from anybody.
You can. It's a purpose behind everything. You're not gonna see a homeless person in the middle of a highway begging for change. There ain't no cars gonna stop. There ain't no cars stopping on 495. They're gonna be right there that 7-Eleven on East West Highway or something.
Yes, sir. Plenty of traffic.
They smart, man.
That's what I'm saying. So soldiers pay attention.
Soldiers pay attention.
To get those good qualities and those bad qualities out of the way, but definitely taking the good ones.
Yes.
So, this is the last question, and this is the crispy one here. If you weren't able to take any money, insurance payout to your kids, houses that you leave behind, all that kind of stuff, but you were able to leave 3 principles for succeeding in life or in the military, what those 3 principles would be and why would you choose those?
All right. So the first one that I thought of is stay true to yourself and your path. You gotta, like I said before, you gotta know where you're going. You gotta know your path. If that's what you want your path, if you're a spiritual person and you pray about something and God placed you on a certain path, stay on that path. Somebody might suggest that you veer off that path. You can always take somebody's suggestions, but if you know where you want to be, if you know where you want to go, stay on that path. And like I said, if somebody says something to you that makes sense, that can guide you along that path, you can take that. But just like I said, just focus. And just focus and figure out how to get to where you want to be in your life. Number 2, I say stay in your lane. When I mean stay in your lane, just know what you do and master your job. Yes. Master what you want to do. I feel that I stayed in my, besides becoming a recruiter for 5 years, I feel for 20 of my 25 years, I was an admin guy. I feel that I mastered my craft. Yes. I'll tell anybody any day of the week, I was the best 42 Alpha the District of Columbia National Guard ever had. I was telling people that
argumentatively.
I was telling people that when I was an E4 because I believed it. I believed that I was the best 42 Alpha. I said it when I was the 5, E6, E7, E8, E9. Yep. It's not nothing that I'm like bragging about. That's just how I felt.
That's right.
Because now, if I'm telling everybody I come across that I'm the best human resource person in the organization, I gotta live up to it now. There you go. So I put myself up on this pedestal, and if I don't live up to it, people are like, man, that dude, man.
See, they don't understand that about me still. I'll be at work saying I'm the most electrifying HR person in DC. And I put myself up there. Yeah, I was doing it in the military.
Yes.
It'll keep me sharp. So I like that.
And that's what I tell people. It keeps you sharp.
That's
Because
right.
like I said, if I'm saying this all day, every day,
Right.
if I'm saying it, now I have to live up to it. Now
That's
I
right.
got these E4s that's looking up to me, E5s looking up to me. I'm telling people I'm the greatest. Like Ali, I'm the
Yes.
greatest.
There you
And
go.
he had to go in the ring and prove it.
Right. That's right.
And Ali went in the ring and proved it. He might have
Let him
lost some
out.
battles here and there, but
That's right.
he still talked this junk. He was still back at it.
Going down in 8.
Yeah.
It ain't too late.
And the last thing is educate yourself. Like I said earlier, when we first started this interview, I never wanted to go to college. I never wanted to go to school. But I knew along my path that eventually I was going to need some type of education,
right,
to move forward, even after my military career. Once I got out the
That's right.
military, having a college education will help and greatly help me
No doubt.
throughout my career. So even if you just can chip away at it, I started my associate's degree in 2004. It took me 8 years to get my associate's degree. I just chipped at it. I took years off, semesters off, but eventually I got it. As soon as I
That's
got
right.
my associate's degree, I enrolled for my bachelor's degree. It took me 4 years to get that. So from 2012 to 2016, I got my bachelor's degree. I took 3 years off from school and started my master's degree in 2019. I just graduated about 4 months ago, got my master's degree. So I chipped away at it. And this is coming from a guy that don't like this. I don't like education, man. Don't show my kids this video. Don't show my kids this video, man.
I got you, bro. I got you, brother. I got you.
But not for real. I just don't. And that's the funny thing about it. I say it all the time. I don't like school. I don't like education. But even in high school, I always got good grades, A's and B's. But like I said,
you wasn't on the street side, so you had to be doing something.
Yeah, I had to do something. But yeah, so it's just something that I knew that I had to do to get ahead and compete against my peers. You know what I'm saying? I know from where I'm from, like I said earlier, where I'm from, I probably not expected to make it as far as I did. Right. To make it to the top of my organization, make it to the top enlisted rank in the Army, and to get a master's degree. So I feel good about that. And be honest, I feel good about it. But even sometimes your best is not good enough. Sometimes. So and I say that for a purpose. And then we'll talk about that later. But sometimes your best is not good enough. But as long as you did right by yourself, as long as you're satisfied with what you've done in your life and your career, it don't matter what nobody else say, man.
Yep. Now as your kids love you, your wife loves you.
Exactly.
Family's okay.
That's exactly. As long as like you said, your family good.
Fast forward that way.
You good. Fast forward, man. You good, man.
Well, that's wonderful, man. And this is a great interview, C. And I call him C because we go way back. But y'all know him as Sergeant Major James Charles Jr. Don't forget his name. He is the best. The 42 Alpha, the greatest in the DC.
Oh yeah, the greatest.
Greatest. That's right. So thank you. To bring this to the close of this, my name is Ernesto Rodriguez. I'm the Chief Consultant for JAE Consulting. My special guest again, Mr. James Charles Jr., Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major, if anybody wants to learn more about the military, get in touch with you, maybe ask you some questions, whatever, I can get in touch with you.
Oh, you can reach out to me. My phone is always on. I can give you my phone number. No, it's 202-689-9282. Or you can send me an email, james.childs.mill@army.mil. If you know anybody interested in joining the District of Columbia Army National Guard, feel free to reach out to me. We got some great opportunities.
Former recruiter, 5 years, excellent recruiter.
I was okay.
All right, I'm gonna put you on a pedestal. You were like that. You were all that. You were who.
My man.
Respect you, man, and thanks for taking the time to sit down with us and do this interview, man. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time, then.
Appreciate it, brother.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.